What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday, blessed Sunday to everyone. So I don't know how many of y'all caught Jerome Powell's segment on 60 Minutes tonight, but I caught the tail end of that. And it's safe to say we'll probably hear some news about that in the crypto sphere, YouTube crypto tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. Try to find that segment. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is shout out our subscribers. Thank you. It really does mean a lot. It really does. So we had some comments come through. So again, we appreciate everyone who is engaging with the YouTube channel. Jerome Moreau yesterday, love this video, please do more like it. That was on the what is a balancer liquidity bootstrapping pool video. Jerome, thank you for your comment, thank you for your feedback, and because of you and your comment, you're really the reason why I'm doing this video right now. Hopefully I will give the same amount of value in this presentation as I did in the LBP video. Also, Stupid Ralph two days ago on Creole's Kusama Polkadot's Canary Network auctions announcement video, which you definitely need to go and watch that video if you plan on participating in the Kusama auctions. Stupid Ralph said, wait, the Michelle URL question mark? LOL, that's awesome. You're awesome, Stupid Ralph. Yes, this is Michelle URL here in full effect, the one and only. So thank you for that comment. Okay. Let me check my audio real quick. We good? Test, 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 test. Test, test. Okay, I may have been peeking in the audio there for a minute. We should be good now. Okay. Okay, so a few notes before we get into this. Again, thank you to our subscribers. Discord link is below. We would love to have you join our Discord. We have a lot of fun in there. Like this video if you like this video, and if you get any sort of value out of this presentation, the best way to thank me, to show your appreciation in exchange for the value that I'm giving you through this presentation, if you give this video a like, if you comment, and if you subscribe, those are the best things that you can do. Best things, that's it. Press the thumbs up button. Next, timestamps. So the first part of this video, I'm going to forewarn you, a lot of what I'm going to say in the first part of this video about PLOs may be obvious to some of you all, but I got a little bit confused. I wasn't connecting the dots. So we're going to go over maybe some things that are very obvious, and if you're already advanced and you know all this, timestamps are below, so please feel free to skip ahead in the video to the equilibrium content, okay? And we're going to go over the equilibrium PLO information, literally article by article, okay? Also resources, everything will be linked below in the description. All right, let's get started. Okay, we got good audio. Thanks, Creole. We got good audio. Thank you. All right. Okay, we're going to turn the background music down a little bit. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's get into it. Polkadot PLOs, and you can also say Kusama PLOs. So first, how I got down this rabbit hole. So I was on CoinMarketCap, and every now and then I just peruse CoinMarketCap, and I came across, of course, the ICO calendar. I was checking that out, and under upcoming projects, Equilibrium was listed here, and it said that it is a PLO Parachain Lease offering. As you can see now, it is under the ongoing projects column. Okay, now technically this Parachain Lease offering is supposed to start April 12th, which is tomorrow. So when I saw PLO, I don't know about y'all, but I was a little thrown off guard, because I'm like, so the auctions haven't started, the Crowdloans haven't started, so what exactly is this PLO? What exactly is this Parachain Lease offering? So let's get into it. And also, PLO, I haven't heard that or Parachain Lease offering much at all. And I've done my fair share of research and reading. I've watched my fair share of videos, so I don't know if PLO is just not often used. Maybe I've missed it, and that may be true. Maybe I've missed it, but PLO, when I first saw it, it seemed like something new to me. So if you aren't familiar with PLOs, or you don't know exactly what it is, then this is precisely the video for you. And again, like I said, if you want to skip forward, feel free to skip forward, because this may be dead obvious to some of you all. Okay, so what are PLOs? Okay, so Cointelegraph, and we're gonna look at the dates too. So this is October 6th, 2020. So again, I had to kind of go down the rabbit hole to actually figure out what a PLO was, because even in the Polkadot wiki and the Kusama wiki, I searched for Parachain Lease offering PLO, and it did not show up in the wikis. Okay, so again, that's why I had some confusion as to what exactly this was. Okay, so October 6, 2020, Polkadot reveals initial Parachain offerings to counter traditional IPOs. Okay, let's scroll down. In 2017, the blockchain space witnessed the rise of initial coin offerings, and while the ICO framework quickly attracted billions of dollars in venture capital, the approach was flawed. Many ICOs turned out to be fraudulent, resulting in a boom and bust period throughout 2018. Then in 2019, the blockchain space saw the development of initial exchange offerings, or IEOs, or of course we've heard IDOs, we've heard LBPs, all this stuff that these projects are utilizing, right? So again, none of this should sound new, but follow me. I'm building up to something. Okay, as the blockchain space continues to mature, another crowdfunding mechanism has come into play, referred to as an initial parachain offering, or IPO. This framework comes from Web3 Foundation's flagship project, Polkadot. Okay, just a little bit more here. Most parachain projects will undergo an IPO to participate in these auctions, allowing teams to accept DOT loans from any DOT holder. Again, none of this should sound new if you've been watching our videos and if you've been in the loop on these auctions and these crowd loans, right? This stuff is starting to sound familiar, right? DOT holders are simply lending their tokens to a team for a period of time in order for them to win a Parachain slot. This is a much safer, fair arrangement for Parachain teams because stakeholders regain access to their DOT at the end of the lease period. Again, none of this should sound new, but back in October of 2020, IPO was kind of going around, okay? An initial Parachain auction. Now let's move forward. Okay, now we're on Polkadot.net, October 5th, 2020. Obtaining a Parachain slot on Polkadot. If a project decides that they would like to bid for an upcoming Parachain slot but believes they do not have the required capital for this, then they can create a Parachain loan offering using the Substrate crowdfunding module to accept DOT loans from any DOT holder. Funds secured through this module will go into an account on the Polkadot relay chain. So, Parachain loan offering sounds a lot like initial Parachain offering, right? Let's move forward. I'm building up to something. Okay. So this is Centrifuge's Parachain launch strategy. This was published March 16th, okay, 2021. Parachain loan offering. In order to secure enough DOT to win one of the first Parachain auctions on Polkadot, Centrifuge plans to host a Parachain loan offering, PLO. All participants that lock DOT for Centrifuge's Parachain slot in the Crowdloan will receive the Centrifuge token as a reward. Sounds like the same thing, right? Building up to something. Let's move forward. Karura. Okay. Join the Crowdloan for Karura's Parachain Lease offering. Okay. And again, let's move forward. So what am I trying to get to here? Okay. What's the point? The point is IPOs, initial Parachain offerings, PLOs, Parachain loan offerings, and PLOs, Parachain lease offerings, are all the same thing. So let me tell you something about me. Okay. Again, y'all may have just said, duh. Right? But for me, consistency in how terms are used in these acronyms, that really matters for me as a learner. And so when I don't hear PLO used a lot right now in the space, or maybe I've just missed it, which could happen, a lot goes on in this space. When I see someone saying Parachain loan offering or Parachain lease offering, I'm like, are these the same thing? Like, what's going on, right? I take these things very literally. So if anyone had the same issue, because I'm like, if I was confused, chances are somebody else may be confused about what a PLO is. And so at the end of the day, okay, join the Crowdloan for Karura's Parachain lease offering. So it's safe to say that PLO, a Parachain lease offering, is kind of this overarching term or acronym, PLO, for these crowdfunding mechanisms, right? So there's that. If anyone is confused with that, a crowd loan is just a means of raising funds, and a Parachain lease offering is kind of just the overarching name for that crowdsourcing or crowdfunding. Hopefully you follow me there. If not, comment below. Okay. So let's move forward. Let's get into equilibrium now. Okay. Because again, this is where I was getting a little tripped up. Equilibrium's two-phase PLO model. So as you can see in phase 2, most of us are very familiar with the crowd loan. enough said. We should all know what a crowd loan is by now, right? Phase 1 is a .eq swap. Okay, so I'm like, what exactly is it? Is this phase 1 and phase 2? This I don't know. It was kind of tripping me up. Okay, so let's move forward. Equilibrium PLO, phase 1 swap versus phase 2 crowd loan. Okay, now before I move forward, actually, let me go ahead and move forward and I'll bring my point back up. Okay, so now we're going to go to the Kusama.network auctions page, where we start to get a little bit more information on what is a native crowd loan and what is maybe a third-party campaign, crowdfunding, crowdsourcing campaign, right? Important. Kusama's native crowd loan mechanism does not require users to send KSM from their own wallet account to a third-party address to participate in a crowd loan. Native crowd loan contributions are made with a special transaction using what's called a campaign index, whereby contributed KSM remain locked in the campaign index. If the auction is successful, contributed KSM remains locked from the moment the contribution is made until the end of the lease period. Okay, again, we should all be kind of familiar with that. Legitimate teams conducting a crowd loan natively on Kusama will not ask you to send tokens to their address to participate. However, lock in right here, okay? Especially for everyone who is participating in phase 1, lock in right here. However, some teams may choose to conduct a crowd loan campaign using other mechanisms or platforms. In this case, be sure to never send tokens to anyone you don't trust. Always check the team's official channels to find out how to participate. Okay, right here, however, some teams may choose to conduct a crowd loan campaign using other mechanisms or platforms. That, my friends, is phase 1. Okay? This is using other mechanisms, using other platforms, using a third party is phase 1. Phase 2, crowd loans, which we are all aware of at this point, is the native crowdfunding, crowdsourcing campaign mechanism that is native to Polkadot, native to Kusama. Okay, this is what I would call a traditional crowdfunding campaign. You see what I'm saying? Phase 2. Okay, so now that we got that, let's move forward. Oh, and back to my thought, let me finish my thought. This kind of reminded me of the Bifrost. They did a mint drop, right? And, you know, when I went to their wiki page, they have it separated. They talk about PLOs in a totally different section, and then they talk about their mint drop in a totally different section, right? And so I guess in my head I was thinking, you know, let's just say their model kind of mirrored this. I wonder if their mint drop would have been phase 1 and then phase 2 would be the PLO crowd loan. Does that make sense for those of you all who are familiar with Bifrost? If you know what I'm talking about, comment below. Let me know if I'm on the right track on that. Okay, so now before we get into this, again, for everyone participating in the phase 1, super important information that we're about to go over. I'm gonna get a sip of my drink. And today we're drinking beet juice. I'm finishing my 3-day cleanse. Today is my last day. Okay. what you need to know about Equilibrium's upcoming Parachain Lease offering. This is the article from January 22nd. We're going to go through 3 articles, okay? And some of this may sound a little bit repetitive as I go through these 3 articles, but one thing that I've learned is hearing things over and over is good. Hearing things over and over that are phrased differently or come at something in a different angle is good. So again, if you're participating in phase 1, hopefully you will find this valuable. Okay, let's go down here. Okay, now we are turning our attention to our pending PLO, a 2-phase fundraising mechanism that we'll use as our launch pad into 2021. Okay, and again, I encourage y'all, all these links will be below. Go back, look at these diagrams. I'm just covering the main topics, if you will. Equilibrium's 2-phase Parachain Lease offering strategy. So this is a really great diagram right here, or image. Okay, phase 1, .eq swap on the left. Phase 2, Crowdloan on the right. So phase 1, submit DOT to the custodian and receive EQ with a bonus. Phase 2, stake DOT to a Crowdloan module and earn rewards in EQ. Phase 1 goals: collect initial DOT liquidity for auction, figure out the community demand, choose 12 or 24 month Parachain slot. Phase 2 goals: cover potential DOT deficit for a bid, distribute remaining EQ allocation, secure a Parachain slot. Okay, phase 1 insurance: a free right to swap EQ back for DOT at the initial swap rate. Phase 2 insurance: participants automatically get their DOT back at the end of the lease period. Okay, again, to kind of help you differentiate the two. We are going to raise DOT as a means to secure Parachain slots in 2 consecutive phases. Phase 1 will be a token swap. Phase 2 will be the crowd loan, the auctions on Polkadot. During phase 1, users will swap their DOT tokens for our EQ tokens. The crowd loan phase 2 will see users contribute DOT directly to the crowd loan module on the Polkadot relay chain to receive staking interest in EQ tokens during the Parachain lease period. We got that? Okay, phase 1, the token swap. By swapping their DOT for EQ in this phase, participants are also selecting their preferred Parachain leasing period, 12 or 24 months. After phase 1, the majority of contributed DOT will determine the leasing period for which Equilibrium will actually bid in the Parachain auction in phase 2. Participants whose choice falls to the minority can either follow the majority or opt out immediately and withdraw their DOT. We're going to come back to this, okay? So basically, what this is saying, if you, okay, so if you wanted the 12 month, right? But actually the majority of participants wanted the 24 month, then you will have the opportunity to take your, to withdraw your DOT if you're like, no, I don't want to participate in the 24 month leasing period. You see what I'm saying? But we're going to come back to that. All DOTs collected during phase 1 will be administered by reputable and well-known custodian that will be announced soon. That announcement happened. We're going to get there. The custodian will be responsible for all operations with DOTs in the interest of participants, including withdrawals and transfers. At the end of phase 1, the custodian will bid for the selected lease period by transferring DOT to the Crowdloan module on the relay chain. We're going to touch on that more. The swap is free of risk, since every participant gets the right to swap EQ back for DOT for free at the initial swap rate after the end of the Parachain lease. This right will also be executed by the custodian. Participants who execute their right to the reverse swap keep their initial bonuses in EQ. Okay, we're going to talk more about that. If Equilibrium fails to secure a Parachain leasing slot after repeated attempts within 4 months, that's now 5 months, but we'll get to there. Okay, we'll get there. Within 4 months after phase 1 ends, all the DOT will be returned to the swap participants. Phase 2, Crowdloan, Parachain Lease auction on Polkadot. During the auction in phase 2, users can stake additional DOT and earn EQ tokens as a staking reward. Okay, so if you participate in this swap, you can still participate in the Crowdloan. And if you don't participate in this swap, you can just participate in the Crowdloan. Okay. Phase 2 is also a risk-free mechanism. At the end of the Parachain lease, contributors will get their DOT back automatically. This refund is executed by the Polkadot Crowdloan module, which is decentralized and permissionless. Okay, that's key right there. So we just went from phase 1, which has a custodian, to phase 2, which is decentralized and permissionless, right? So important things you need to know before you pull the trigger on this. Why you should participate. The PLO matters because it is a meaningful way to get your hands on our core system assets, the EQ token, while receiving bonuses according to the above schedule and simultaneously enhancing Equilibrium's liquidity and functionality. Our token swap in particular will be a perfect way to gain and use your first EQ. After a Parachain leasing slot is secured, the path is free for the value of our token to grow. Since we are not planning token sales, if you would like to be among the first holders of EQ during the formative period of our platform and use them for our products and services, as well as participating in governments, then the PLO is an opportunity to get EQ. All right, now let's move forward. Okay, this article came out March 29th, 2021. Phase 1 of Equilibrium's PLO, how our DOT EQ token swap works. Okay, DOT EQ token swap mechanics. The mechanics behind the first phase of our PLO are pretty simple. Participants submit DOT and receive EQ tokens in exchange at an initial swap rate of 0.07 DOT per 1 EQ. They simultaneously get the right to swap their DOT back for EQ at the end of the Parachain lease period for free, all while keeping any earned bonuses in EQ. And we're going to talk about these bonuses a little bit more. Okay. So kind of the steps here. 1, participants undergo KYC. We all know what that is. 2, they select a Parachain lease period. Every participant will choose between 12 and 24 month periods for our Parachain lease. Then they send DOT to the custodian and receive EQ. Token swap participants will send DOT to a dedicated Polkadot address. Again, Please be aware that if you're participating in phase 1, you will be sending your DOT to a dedicated Polkadot address to another custodian, okay? At the end of the swap, they will receive a respective amount of EQ tokens at their addresses, free of any lockup period. Number 4, whitelisted participants have priority. If we run into the hard cap of 250,000 DOT during the PLO, whitelisted users will have priority over those who aren't. Of course, the white listing, all that is finished and over with, right? But if you're already whitelisted, you will have priority over everyone else, okay? Okay, here we go into the bonuses. Okay, a bonus is just an incentive for participating in phase 1. So you can only get this bonus if you're participating in phase 1. Users exchanging their DOT for EQ will earn a bonus that depends on their swap size and selected Parachain Lease period. And again, if you're participating in this, there's charts in here and all kinds of stuff. So highly recommend reading over that. Why is this risk-free and safe? Firstly, the swap doesn't have an implied risk of an EQ DOT price drop in case EQ doesn't perform well. As mentioned earlier, every swap participant gets the right to reverse the swap at the initial swap rate for free. That's a good note. They can exercise this right at the end of the Parachain Lease period. Secondly, all the DOT collected during our token swap is kept absolutely safe. This DOT will live in a cold wallet by Copper. Copper is the custodian. Okay? A reputable, regulated custodian licensed in the UK. Copper is providing custody services during this portion of our PLO. When the token swap is over, Copper will submit the bid for our selected lease period by transferring DOT to the decentralized Crowdloan module on the Polkadot relay chain. The wallet is under multi-signature permissions, and all DOT operations, like withdrawals and transfers, need to be authorized by all the participants. This refers to the Equilibrium team, as well as Signum Capital, as a well-known Singapore-based ecosystem participant, an investor who kindly committed to becoming a part of our multi-sig. So again, phase 1 people, you are sending your DOT to another address. It will be held in a cold wallet that Copper is managing. Okay, so if you're doing this, part of doing your own research is going to the Copper website, taking a look at these folks. Okay, going over here to Signum Capital, taking a look at these folks. Okay, highly recommend doing that extra bit of research before you send your DOT to another address. And of course, you know, we assume that all of this will work out well. Equilibrium, you know, they have some notoriety in the space and things of that nature. But again, this is your DOT. This is potentially, you know, part of your wealth that you are submitting into someone else's wallet, right? So again, just think about that. Okay, so lastly, where am I at? Importantly, if Equilibrium fails to secure a Parachain leasing slot after repeated attempts within 5 months, okay, you see how that 4 changed to 5, so it's 5 months, then swap participants will have the opportunity to swap back their EQ to DOT. referral program. Okay, this is another incentive to participate in phase 1, to participate in this swap. We want to offer support to everyone who contributes, so we are pleased to offer a referral program that lets you earn more when you recruit new PLO participants. The referral bonus is 1% for every participant using your referral link. Okay, there's your second incentive there. So you got bonuses and referrals. All right. So last article, this was released on April 5th. Okay. Here's your step-by-step guide to our .eq token swap, April 5th. So you've decided to participate in our .eq token swap as the first phase of our larger Parachain Lease offering, PLO. Good for you. Okay, again, first phase. Starting on April 12th, which is a Monday, and lasting until April 25th, we will raise 250,000 DOT in exchange for our EQ tokens at the rate of 1 EQ equals 0.07 DOT. Users can earn up to 25% in bonuses for their participation. Again, make sure you look over these charts. In a nutshell, users will undergo KYC, select their desired lease period, send their DOT to our custodian, Copper, and receive their EQ at the initial swap rate along with any bonuses. That's it in a nutshell. So let's go down here. And of course, in this article, they have how you do KYC, how you do your DOT deposit, and all that stuff in here. Referrals, bonuses, all that stuff is in here. Okay, how to withdraw DOT. So again, lock in right here. The PLO and token swap are risk-free. This means that swap participants can receive their DOT back if necessary. There are 3 occasions for this. Okay, so let's read that back because this is important. The PLO and token swap are risk-free. This means that swap participants can receive their DOT back if necessary. There are 3 occasions for this. Only 3, okay? 1, minority vote on the leasing period. We just covered this in the other article. Within 2 working days after the results of the vote on the swap are known, we will send users in the minority vote notification. Then they will have 7 days to choose if they decide to withdraw their DOT or remain in the pool and allow their DOT to proceed on to be used in the bidding for the auction. Okay, again, depending on how that vote pans out, if you're not with it, then you can, you can jet. You can take your DOT out. Number 2, if Equilibrium fails to secure a Parachain slot. In the event that within 5 months after the beginning of the Parachain auctions, Equilibrium is unable to win a Parachain auction, swap users' DOT will be returned to them in the same amount as originally swapped. Okay, we already covered that. 3, DOT swap back after the end of the leasing period. At the end of the Parachain leasing period, swap participants will have the opportunity to swap their EQ back for DOT for the initial swap rate. Equilibrium will notify swap participants with a reminder and instructions on how to submit a request to swap back their EQ tokens for DOT. They will have 7 days to decide if they would like to get back their DOT or keep their EQ. You are now ready to swap DOT for EQ in the first phase of Equilibrium's 2-phase PLO. Watch this space for fresh information soon on how the second phase of our PLO, a crowd loan, will work. And that is it, y'all. So I think for me, the main takeaway and what I have learned personally through doing research on this, one, these PLOs these models, they're going to shift, right? A PLO for Karura is a crowd loan, right? That's how they're doing their fundraising, through a crowd loan. For Equilibrium, they have this two-phase PLO, right? And if you're participating in phase one, again, be aware and have confidence, do your research, knowing that you are sending your dot to a different address. Okay, and if you're someone, you're not with that, then just wait for the crowd loan, right? Wait for the native crowd sourcing, crowdfunding mechanism that is native to Polkadot or native to Kasama, and that is in fact the crowd loans, right? And that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for joining. It's gotten dark outside. I guess I guess this video has turned out to be a little bit more than what I thought it was going to be. But y'all, thank y'all for watching this video. I'm glad that you're here. Again, like, comment, subscribe. If you like something that I did, comment below. If you didn't, if you press that dislike button, tell me why. I dare you to. I dare you to comment below if you dislike this video, okay? With that, I hope everyone has a great day, a great week. I hope you are getting what you need out of this phase one. Super excited this month about the auctions and crowd loans and all this good stuff. It's going to be a good time. I'm super excited. All right, y'all. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.